I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank you for bestowing such a wonderful honor on me. Congratulations to all the other nominees that are here today. I want to thank my family, my friends, my Waynesburg teammates for all showing up today in support of me. I also want to thank my coach and my mentor and good friend, Rudy Marisa, who we sadly lost on May 2nd of this year. My lovely and amazing wife has been by my side for this entire journey. It's been a very rough and bumpy journey, and I'm going to share a little bit of that with you in a few moments. And of course, I couldn't do this without an incredible son, my son Mike, who's been by my side. And I also want to thank all of my wonderful brothers and sisters that are here with me today, and my friends, and obviously my family. So, I played at Waynesburg University basketball, and I was 10 points shy of 1,000. I was a two-time academic All-American and an honorable mention All-American when I played there. And those are all great accomplishments, but to me, they weren't the most important. Winning as a team was always very important to me. And in 1985, we were challenged. We were only 4 games into the season. We played against Fairmont State University. And my dear, dear friend, who's back seated in the corner there, Harold Hamlin, went down with an ACL injury. He was out for the season, done. Everybody wrote us off, that we weren't going to be able to fulfill the 3rd District 18 championship, that we weren't going to be able to pull it off because we lost our captain, our leader, and our best player of our team. Well, Oliver Wendell Holmes has been quoted by saying, "Have the courage to act instead of react." And that's exactly what we did. We went 18 straight wins. We went 27-2, 931 winning percentage, which is best ever at Waynesburg University. We won that 3rd District 18 championship that was at hand, and we went to the national championships down in Kansas City, where we played in Kemper Arena, ultimately losing to West Virginia State in the quarterfinals. We proved that having courage and believing in ourselves as a team and possessing the will to fight would allow us to overcome about anything. But it wasn't until about 4.5 years ago that I learned the true meaning of courage. I used to travel in my job all over the world, and I was on a flight to Singapore, and I knew that something was wrong. I landed and my legs ballooned. They doubled in size. I was very concerned, of course, and after I came back, I went through a lot of medical treatments at UPMC. And I received the devastating news on January 11, 2019. News that changed my life in an instant, forever. I heard the words, "You have cancer." And not only did I hear the words, "You have cancer," but I heard the words that you have AL amyloidosis, you have heart failure, you have kidney failure, you have liver failure, and unbeknownst to me, I would soon have a brain tumor that I would be fighting. I also learned that 2 of these diseases were incurable. It's a death sentence. You know that 2 of them aren't going to be cured, but there's always God. And I ended up learning further that only 30,000 out of 332 million Americans have these diseases on an annual basis. That's 0.0001%. When you receive such devastating news, you only have 2 choices. First, you can just give up and throw the towel in, or you can have courage and you can fight. And I've chosen to fight. I stand here today by the grace of God with 3 implants in my chest. One is for chemotherapy that goes into my port. One is a pulmonary artery device. And the third one is a pacemaker defibrillator. that's in place. As part of my ongoing treatment, I take 35 pills a day. I've been through 337 UPMC appointments, 22 trips to the ER that turned to 104 days of stay in the hospital, treatment by 31 unique doctors, 208 blood draws, 6 pleural effusions, 25 MRIs and CT scans, 10 biopsies, 2 catheterizations, 12 echocardiograms, 6 lumbar punctures, 3 EMG tests, 2 endoscopes, 5 ultrasounds, 35 laser acupuncture treatments, 20 antibody infusions, 104 days in complete isolation, 206 rounds of chemotherapy, 28 rounds of radiation to my brain, a stem cell bone marrow transplant, and brain surgery. My doctors often say to me, "My God, Rick, you look so much better in person than you do on paper." But I must say the reason I'm standing here today before you is by the grace of God. When I chose to be courageous and fight, I knew that I would need God, I would need my Catholic faith, I would need my friends, I would need my family, and I would need my teammates. And I've had to go through nothing alone. Everybody has been by my side each step of the way. With texts, visits, phone calls, cards, and it's what fuels me and helps me to cope with my daily struggles, because I have struggles every day. I've made the rosary and chaplets and prayer cards in church an even more significant part of my life. And these are the things that sustain me, and they bring me a sense of peace. The Bible says, "Pray for one another that you may be healed." When I read those words, I felt compelled to pray for others that are struggling. And I started a chaplet ministry and a prayer group within our church, St. Andrew's, and it's grown to over 1,100 members. All because I believe there's power in number and power in prayer. We are blessed living where we live here. We have the world's best doctors, just a stone's throw away. They're world renowned. And I'm blessed to be able to have those doctors available to me to treat me. But still, my doctors can't explain why some of my diseases that are irreversible are improving. I believe it's the healing hands of God that's been placed upon me that's helping me to improve. And when I tell my doctors that, many of them, they come to believe it as well, because they don't have an explanation. By the grace of God, my cancer is in full remission. My AL, thank you. My amyloidosis, and that's where Richard Caligiuri died with amyloidosis. My amyloidosis, which hardens the organs in your body, is at a standstill. My latest liver numbers are normal. I went from nearing kidney dialysis to stage 3 kidney disease. And finally, my heart ejection fraction improved by 14%. I have a favorite excerpt from the Bible, and it's Joshua. Joshua says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And I encourage you today that if you don't have a personal relationship with God, you start to make it a priority. I promise you that nothing you do will ever be more important. I thank you for giving me the time, and God bless you.